Hey kids, it's Lindsey Anderson coming at you hot again, and today we're talking about a big fat problem and why most people don't post on social media, even though it is one of the super mega best ways to get online coaching clients to your business. So today I'm going to be talking about this reason why people are afraid to get online and put themselves out there and what you can do about it. So let's get into it. The number one reason, and perhaps a reason that you don't want to admit because deep, dark in your soul, you just don't want to admit it, that you are afraid of posting online because you're afraid of being judged by everybody out there. I mean, here you are, you're casting your pearls before swine, and you're out there putting yourself out there pretty much open to people saying what they want, how they want, when they want, to things that mean a lot to you. This can especially happen a ton in the spirituality niche. If you're helping people with some of these soft skills that people who just don't get it, you're opening yourself up for some comments. And so oftentimes coaches do not want to put themselves online, what they do online, what they believe online, how they achieve results out there online because they're afraid of judgment. This video is all about how to overcome the fear of judgment on social media, because I'm here to tell you, not only is social media one of the best ways to attract high vibe clients to your online business, but learning how to overcome the fear of judgment by other people can actually make your life a lot better, just from an everyday perspective. So take it from me, somebody who grew up, with a lot of judgment, being afraid that I was being judged. Clear into my 40s, I was like, okay, what does this look like? And should I put this shirt on? And how do I look? And what are people going to say? And my email list has been growing for all of these years. And if I go and I change and I say this, what are they going to think? Which really led me to become this super duper buttoned up, always hair done version of myself, which makes it so hard to create online content because I always feel like I had to put like a fresh shirt on. I got to have the makeup on. I had to know exactly what to say, and I didn't want to say anything that was going to piss anybody off or be out there so that I couldn't be proved wrong out there on social media, because it can be really, really scary and vulnerable to put yourself online. So the number one way to start getting comfortable and overcoming the fear of judgment of other people is to start harnessing your qualities and understanding what makes you tick and what makes you special. And also understanding that everyone's version of what's right and what's wrong and what's professional and the way things have ought to be done is completely different. So guess whose opinion matters the most? And guess whose opinion is the only one that matters, my friends? It is yours. So understanding that you are the only person that has to live your life. Like, it doesn't really matter what the checker at the store thinks of your sweatpants because you ran to the store in your sweatpants and you look like crap. It doesn't matter. And chances are you're experiencing what is called the spotlight effect, and they are hardly noticing what you are noticing about yourself. So when we start to get to know ourselves and appreciate ourselves and know what our strengths are and know that we can rock this and we are happy with ourselves, my friend, you can put yourself out there on social media and it doesn't matter what people say. Now, easier said than done. And for 40 years of my life, I said, yeah, I got this. I totally love myself. But come to find out, everything I was doing as I started investigating my own thoughts was I was looking for affirmation. I was looking for people to agree with me. I was looking for people to like a certain version of me that was showing up that wasn't necessarily me or authentically me or how I wanted to show up. Now, it looked good on paper. It was super professional, super businessy, and very rarely did people say much to me because it was professional. It was super shiny. But the thing is that I was hardly attracting a ton of people to my online business. Every single sale was hard fought, and it was really hard to build an audience. Well, when I looked inside myself and I went through a ton of processes, which by the way, I teach in my Content That Converts.me workshop. Go to the website. We always have a different version of this running. So get on the wait list or join us for our next cohort. I can walk you through the steps of finding out more about yourself, understanding your stories, patting yourself on the back, and realizing what an incredible and awesome person you are. And guess what? The best part of this process is it also helps you create amazing content that you can put online that will attract people to you, that will help you display your VEMs. Now, if you don't know what VEMs are, I talk about that in another video, but I'll tell you what it means right now. It means vibe, experience, methodology, and skills. Straight up, peeps, this is why people choose to coach with you. It's not your prices. It's not because you're the best. It's because they're like, I really like her. I understand her methodology. She has the skills I need in order to get from point A to point B. Yes, Lindsey, tell me what the price is. I'm ready to pay. Let's go. But all of this comes from learning to love ourselves and be authentic. We do not want to let others define who we are, which can be super difficult in the day and age of social media. All we do all day is scroll, and we see what version of ourselves that we should be. We see how women should look. We should see how we should do our hair. We should see that we shouldn't smell. We should see that we should have white teeth. We should see how we should dress. We surround ourselves with people telling us these messages, even if, right, on a Saturday when I'm not on social media or around on anyone, I prefer it a completely different way. Now, I'm not telling you not to show up and be your best self or be professional, but what I'm telling you is that if you're always showing up in a buttoned-up way because that's how we think our clientele defines us, you are not attracting your client. You are making social media so much harder on yourself because you always have to put on this suit that isn't you every time you go live. So no wonder you guys are only going live once a month. It can be really hard to play the role if it's not truly your comfortable place. So what's next? Be aware of your own inner critic. It's widely known that quite often those things, you guys have heard this before, the things we talk about people, the things we hate about other people are truly a reflection back on ourselves about things that are not the favorite things about ourselves. So a great little and powerful thought experiment is to number one, you got to start paying attention to your thoughts. You know, you got this monkey mind that just runs loose. You don't have to listen to it. And our brains are programmed just to keep on running this message over and over, all of these messages. So for me, it became so powerful when I started paying attention and questioning these automatic messages my brain was telling me. And one of these, so powerful, was this inner critic. And when I really believed this, when I believed that everything I dislike about someone else is actually a reflection back on what I am not that big of a fan about myself. Now, it makes sense, right? Because everybody is doing their best. Everybody is just trying to survive this thing we call life. We all got problems because that's what life is. So we're all just trying to survive. And honestly, we don't have time to notice a lot of things. The things we notice are those things that are crystal clear in our minds. Those things about us are traits that really kind of bother us. It's like when you buy a brand new maroon minivan like me, never saw a maroon minivan before, but now every time I go out and pick the kids up from school, I see 10 maroon minivans because it's on my radar. The same thing goes with our own inner critic. Just try, guys, this thought experiment just a few times this week. The next time you're out and about and you see somebody or you see an action or a response from somebody and you feel that feeling that, oh, you really shouldn't be doing that. I would never do that. Now, I know you do that. We all do that. Stop. Just stop. and say to yourself, self, that's an interesting thought. First of all, don't judge yourself because we all do that. It's how our brain is programmed. It's not a problem that you're doing it. It doesn't make you any less of an amazing human than you are. Self, that's a very interesting thought. Do I actually think that about myself? And do some real thought experiments on it. Journal about it. Think about it and say, you know what? My guess is, you know what? I actually do. I do dislike that about myself. I do want to change that about myself. This is something that I do not believe falls within my value system on how I want to show up. It's really a powerful thought experiment to stop these thoughts, wonder where they come from, turn them around, and apply them to yourselves. So as my last point here on how to overcome the fear of judgment on social media, all throughout our lives, we are completely taught to sacrifice on the behalf of others. Don't go first in line. It is not polite. Let these people go first. All of these things, which is important. It's good to be compassionate and loving, but this can really start showing up in our lives where we start putting ourselves last. We don't end up investing in ourselves. We don't end up treating ourselves with nice things or creature comforts or things that just make us feel good. This showed up in my life when I realized that I loved candles, okay? I loved burning a candle every night. It made me feel special. I really, really loved it. But for some reason, I'm like, nope. Don't need a candle. Do not need to light a candle. That's wasting the family's money. That's all these reasons why I couldn't find pure happiness within lighting a candle every night. Guess what? I light a freaking candle every single night. Every single night I look at it and I'm like, yeah, that brings me a little bit of comfort. That makes me happy. That's just for me. Lindsey, you are important. Lindsey, I am your best friend. Lindsey, let's take care of ourselves. Especially now in the pandemic, times are tough. It is so important to learn how to be your own best friend. Treat yourself. Buy yourself that cup of coffee without feeling guilty. You deserve it. You can treat yourself wonderfully. If other people, who else is going to treat you first if it's not you? It's time to step up. It's not narcissistic. It's not selfish. You've got to start taking care of yourself. Now, this is a big theme for me as I have learned how to really grow my online coaching business and fall into alignment of how I want to run this thing, okay? And that is the secret weapon to really supersonic speeding achieving your goals is understanding that your secret weapon is yourself. This body, your brain, your mindset, and you need to protect it and love it and cater it and take care of it at all costs because truly it is the secret sauce in how you're going to get to where you're going. So there you have it, folks. There's a few tips on how to overcome the fear of judgment on social media. I hope this video helped you. Go and check out other videos out here, and I'll see you next time.